Hello, this is Eileen, the Environmental Educator, and in this video we're going to talk about out of the world of that this is just, crazy talk, but what it does is it proves that to be employed in the environmental field, you have to be a complete failure. So right now, this is the BBC. They're over in the UK. They are all criticizing the climate change plan and that it will leave the UK unprepared, warns advisors. And here is The Guardian, and it says, leaked UK government plan to protect against climate heat very weak. Now, first of all, this plan, right, I mean, what they talk about is the heat from the summers, the heat wave, and they talk about the wildfires, but that's it. I mean, I'm really even surprised that I don't see the word carbon. Well, here's some until carbon emissions, reach net zero, but there's not even a lot of talk about that. It just proves that what has been proven for decades, that you truly have to be beyond incompetent to have a job in the environmental field. It says here that Bob Ward, the policy director of the Grantham Research Institute on Climate Change and the Environment at the London School of Economics, okay, but he doesn't have solutions. Okay, nobody does. Oh, no, that's right. One person does. Who is that? Oh, that's right. That's me. It's just, if you've been around here before, you know that they're not allowed since November 93. But right here, this Bob Ward says the new plan falls far short of being a strategy that will ensure the protection of lives and livelihoods against more frequent and intense floods, droughts, and heat waves. So they're just really talking about the consequences of everything that allegedly has gotten us to the point where, we are now, they call it managing risks of climate change. So, but the Environment Secretary, Teresa Coffey, said that this program represents a step change in our approach to managing the risks of climate change, moving us from planning to action. Oh, okay. What? It's 2023 and we're finally going to get into action, except the action is a step plan at a time when the world is saying that we need massive real action that will produce massive real solutions, which is, of course, everything that the world hasn't allowed since November of 93. But here, all these people are employed. They all have good jobs, prestige. Their family's like, oh my God, that's the environmental minister. Oh my God, that's the environmental minister's staff. Oh my God, they're doing so. They're educated. Oh, and they're buffoons. And it's proven by every global report that says that things are getting worse, even faster than expected. And it's proven by, the critics of this plan that say that, right, it falls short, along with everything else that they've done for decades. So, they're talking about, billions of dollars, in new flood and coastal defenses, but, and nature recovery strategies and environmental land management schemes. But, right, they're gonna, triple the funding for climate adaptation from 500 million pounds to 1.5 billion in 2025, starting in 2019, to help, vulnerable countries and reduce the likelihood of emerging risk cascading to the UK. Well, according to what they say, these risks are already there. And nobody is doing anything of value. And now, they've just put out this new, it was one of these headlines is that it is right here, leaked UK government plan. So this was just leaked to the press. Okay. Now, you know what? This right here is The Guardian. Now, The Guardian has had it leaked to them by me of what isn't being done. Have you ever seen The Guardian actually talk about solutions and call these people out? No. No, you haven't and you won't. Just like everybody else in the propaganda, mainstream media, and unfortunately for the world, as I say here a gazillion times, just like all of the independent media, the truth media, Bobby Kennedy running on truth. Oh, except, what does James O'Keefe say? Oh, that's right. Omission is worse than lying, and they all omit this really important information here. And right now, as I did this video last night, who's leading in the world? Oh, that's right, South Africa. They just did the newest hemp hotel, and they're looking to be leaders in the hemp industry. And where is the advanced civilizations? Refusing it since November of '93. So right now, again, this report and this criticism of it, there's really nothing in these articles here. Well, they say, this is progress on previous plans, but we are disappointed the government hasn't used this opportunity to go further. Yeah, and who was that? Well, that was Baroness Brown, the chair of the Adaptation Committee for the UKCCC, the UK Committee on Climate Change. And let me tell you, if I contacted Baroness Brown, would she be interested in going further? Well, I'd be pleasantly surprised if she was. We'll see if I find the time to let her know what needs to be done. But in the meantime, if only I could be stupid and be a failure, I could have a job. And, people, oh my God, she's doing so good. No, everything I do is a failure. And people can't figure that out, to all these people that they compliment. But again, everything they're doing is now just even being called out that it is very weak and it's not enough. And yet not even Bobby Kennedy will allow what is actually needed. And that's really scary. Mr. Truth himself, Mr. Environmental himself, the person, people willing to listen to something environmental, even if they're opposed to the subject. But if Bobby Kennedy says it, and Bobby Kennedy is keeping from you the more that everybody over in the UK is demanding and their government isn't providing, and everything that the world is demanding that no government, including Bobby Kennedy, isn't providing. So stay tuned, people.